Hey everybody, Kathy Gruver here. Welcome to your daily pause from San Antonio, Texas. Two Texas cities in less than 24 hours. I'm speaking again tomorrow and then back to Santa Barbara. I'm relaxing in my room because I'm tired. But one of the fascinating things with travel is the people you meet along the way. Our flight out of Dallas was delayed, not tremendously long, maybe about half an hour. And it was Southwest, so we, kind of pick your own seat. I was near the end of the queue, so I ended up in the middle seat. The woman in front of me on the aisle had put all of her stuff on the middle seat in an attempt to keep someone from sitting there, clearly not understanding that, one, she would have to move all that when we started to fly, and two, it was a full flight and someone was going to be sitting next to her. So she finally has to move all her stuff. She's pitching a fit about that, and we aren't going anywhere. The plane doors are open, the door to the cockpit's open, everyone's just sort of milling about, and I'm exhausted. I'm not paying any attention. But all of a sudden I hear, "Excuse me, excuse me, excuse me." And I'm looking around, and it's the woman on the aisle in front of me. Will someone tell me will someone tell me why we're not going anywhere? Will someone tell me what's going on? She was pitching an absolute fit. So everybody sort of around me was like, looking at this woman. So she finally goes, "Well, if none of you are going to do it," and she undoes her seatbelt and she slams up her tray table and she goes storming up to the front of the plane and she says, "Could you tell me, is this plane safe? Can you tell me what's going on?" To which the flight attendant very calmly says, "Ma'am, we've just closed the door. I'm going to have you go back to your seat now." "Well, I just wanted to know what was going on." She goes back to her seat, and as she does that, she addresses the entire front of the plane and says, "Well, you all are wimps for not asking," and sits back down. And I turned to the guy next to me and said, "Can someone get her a cocktail?" Because clearly she needed to relax a little bit. But I started to think about her reaction to what was going on. Sure, did we want to know what was going on? Yeah, but frankly, it wasn't a long period of time. It's not totally unusual to put everyone on the plane and then have a little bit of a delay while they finish paperwork, while they're getting stuff done. But this woman was just beside herself in this very emotional reaction to something she had no control over, to something that she didn't understand. She very easily could have rung her buzzer and said, "Excuse me, could you explain to me why you're sitting here?" as opposed to flipping out and going to the front of the plane. I found it very amusing and also very enlightening from that perspective of, wow, she did not handle that well. We all wanted to know why we were sitting there. We all handle these things differently. But after speaking this morning about stress and that pause to respond rather than react, and then watching what she did on the plane, and now I get to go speak about this again tomorrow morning, it is just another reminder of taking that beat, taking that pause, taking that breath, and deciding how you're going to handle a situation. She couldn't control the plane. She couldn't control how long we sat there. She frankly can't control if it's safe or not. She has a couple choices in these situations. You change the situation, you leave the situation, or you change yourself. She didn't do any three of those. She instead sort of pitched a little hissy fit, which, though amusing, was still kind of sad. So anyway, your daily pause for the day, this evening, depending on what coast you're on, is really about remembering to take that pause, to evaluate the situation, to breathe, and to respond rather than react. Don't be the woman in front of me on the plane. All right, I'm off to bed because I'm exhausted. I will catch you guys tomorrow in the morning from San Antonio. I hope you have an amazing night. Have a responding evening, not a reacting evening, and I'll catch you tomorrow.